Hi, I'm Liv. I am here to tell you about the August Thrifty Notion collection. We have thoroughly enjoyed slowing our pace a little bit and just having one collection per month where we can kind of explore the different fabrics, explore a theme, come up with project ideas for the things that we're showing you. It's so much more fun and so much more interesting than just constantly saying, hey, look at this fabric, you want to buy it? Yeah, we're not great capitalists, and just constantly pushing things for you to buy feels gross. We don't like it. So education, inspiration, all of those sorts of things are much more fun as far as we're concerned. So hopefully you're enjoying it too. So August, we have this wonderful kind of chocolatey coffee colored palette, and coffee will factor into our month as far as the names, some of our projects, all of that good stuff. This color palette also inspired us to come up with some leather and burlap projects and do a little bit of collaborating in our community for those projects. So stay tuned, keep an eye on our website. Our front page is really becoming a little bit more focused on these sorts of education and inspiration ideas. So keep checking back. All right, let's get started. Too much rambling, let's go. All right, first up, I'm just gonna do this cotton really fast because it's on a roll and it's the odd one out. This is when I saw it on the roll, I was underwhelmed, but then when I opened it up, for some reason, it was, I don't know, it spoke to me. I just respond very strongly to this. This is a vintage 1950s cotton. It's not a chintz, it's not polished, it's just cotton. It's almost like quilting fabric, but it's intended for home dec. I mean, that would make a fantastic Roman shade. That would be very, very cute. You could also use it for quilting or clothing or whatever else. It's just a nice lighter weight cotton fabric. This one is vintage and from our Seal Patterson stash once more. That lady, she's been quite a blessing to our business as far as all the amazing fabrics we got from her. All right, let's keep going with the cotton theme, more vintage. This is sort of we called it biscotti. This is cotton velvet. So jacket, elbow patches, home dec, all kinds of wonderful things you can do with this. It's super, super soft, feels really, really nice. And yeah, you just want to wear it. You just want to have it close to your skin. It's very good. You could do trousers, although the friction for those of us whose thighs touch might be a bit much. So keep that in mind, but really lovely vintage velvet right here. Then we have another one of those Seal Patterson jacquards. It is a plaid in kind of a light tan and silver. It is reversible and good for all the things that a lightweight cotton is good for. So you can use it for quilting, you can make clothing out of it, button-up shirts, more tailored things are better from this because you are going to have to press it. This lightweight cotton shirting is good for shirts, really. Something similar to what I'm wearing would actually be cute out of this, or a button-up. This one's called Cappuccino Stripe. Also good for quilting. In particular, if you have a vintage quilt that needs repair, these older cottons are really nice for that. Just one little piece of twill, which is essentially denim. This one's a nice brown color. It's called roastery twill. Good for slacks and shorts, even things like pinafores. Nice sturdy fabric. We've been having a fair amount of terry cloth show up. So this one's called Moon Milk. Just a nice silvery gray terry cloth. You can make a towel, or you can do something like a bathrobe or like a hoodie for swimming. I mean, not swimming, but you know, when you're done swimming. This one's just kind of a cotton broadcloth. It's again, a nice sturdy cotton. It's a little bit slubby and it's a little bit heavier than quilting cotton. It's called egg cream. It's kind of this pretty golden khaki color. Great for like a slightly heavier button-up shirt, or you can make a dress or something out of this. It's just a really good multi-purpose fabric. It's also good for quilting. Our last little friend in the cotton pile is just some stretch denim. So this is cotton with a little bit of spandex, just a black denim. Good for pants, shorts, skirts, all the things that need just a little bit of stretch to them. All right, the next two are silk. Both are silk shantung, so they have that slubby texture. I'm just gonna put one of them down because this is a bit much. Slubby texture, beautiful drape. Good for things like dresses, skirts, crop top sort of situations are very pretty out of this. You could also just do like a blouse with poofy sleeves or regular sleeves or whatever it is you're trying to do. It is very luxe feeling. If you want to be super fancy, you can also do things like drapes, though I would recommend lining it just so the sun doesn't damage the silk. We have a couple of synthetic blends. This one's a poly cotton, and it's a nice kind of chunky medium weight, houndstooth. It's a woven houndstooth pattern, so it's kind of subtle, but you can see it in the light. Good for things like slacks and skirts. You could do shorts out of this as well, or just a full dress. It's pretty medium weight, so fairly sturdy and good for all kinds of things. It's only 1 3/4 yards, so probably just one person gets to make a project out of this, but it's a nice little poly cotton. This is a heavier weight satin, kind of a home dec weight, called coffee rings for obvious reasons. Just a fun kind of modern home dec print. Good for things like drapes and throw pillows and that kind of thing. You could do clothing out of it. It is just a little bit heavy and stiff, so things like jackets would be good out of this. You could do a skirt as well. It does have kind of a stiff hand to it, so lots of body. Got a couple of just odds and ends here. We have one piece of rayon this month. I mean, we've got lots of rayon throughout the store, but in the August collection, just one piece. This is pretty paisley. This one's called Hot Honey Paisley. Very drapey and a little bit sheer. You can see through it, but excellent for things like sundresses and skirts, things that you want to have breeziness and some ventilation, air circulation. It's hot. Speaking of hot, wool, just this really lovely, fairly soft piece of wool suiting in this nice soft gray color. It's called Rhea Herlinger because that is the actual name of the company that made this fabric. It is vintage and we have checked it. It has been stored so well, it has no damage. So we were kind of shocked, but a vintage piece of wool in this pretty gray. Good for things like trousers or skirts. You could also do a jacket. I have a pile of satins here of various types. This one's a little bit weird, or I guess unique. It is woven in 2 panels. So you basically have to cut it down the middle and it'll have another set of selvages in the middle. I don't know why they made it in this narrow width. It must have been specific to some sort of garment or project, but it's a really pretty pattern woven in to this lovely satin. It's reversible because that pattern is woven in. So things like vests would be great out of this. Any other formal sort of things where you just need small panels, things like corsets would also be really pretty out of this. This is a vintage satin called honeycomb. It's sort of a bridal satin weight. It's very stiff. It has a stiff hand and a very subtle metallic gold honeycomb print over this really lovely warm gray color. So all of the formal things could be made out of this. Bridesmaid dress type situations, formals, it does have a lot of body to it. It is very stiff, so keep that in mind, but it is gorgeous and vintage. We have a satiny taffeta called Coffee Bean right here. It has a little bit of drape to it, not super stiff. It does have fading at the selvages, so there's like almost an ombre effect happening at the edges, but the main part of the fabric is pretty consistent in the color. I think it was just age, or I don't know, maybe it was on purpose, but it's actually very pretty. Our last kind of formal satiny fabric is this crinkle poly satin. Very fluid and kind of stretchy. Because it's got that crinkle to it, there's some stretch. It also stretches in the horizontal as well. So depending on what you want to do with it, it is a little bit stretchy and has really nice drape. All right, I've saved our canvases for last. We have just a little stack of canvases here. This is a newer warehouse clearance. It's a linen cotton blend, and we called this one half calf because it's got these half circle kind of teacup looking shapes on it. It's kind of a lightweight canvas, so you can use it for home deck, but you can also use it for clothing, pants, shorts, overalls. You could make a heavier weight button-up jacket type of thing. And you can use it for quilting. So very versatile linen cotton blend here. This one's a very lightweight canvas. It is vintage. Love this print. You can see it's not super heavy. Again, I don't know, you could make it like a looser pair of shorts or something, but a dress, home deck, even quilting for this one would work. We have this super fun vintage squash blossom canvas. Slightly heavier than the other two, a little bit more for home deck or like pants. You could make a pair of jeans out of this one. Really fun. This last canvas is cotton and vintage. It's called Sugar and Spice, and this is the heaviest of all of them. Definitely more of a bottom weight fabric or a home deck. It's more of a canvas feel to it. So you could make pants, shorts, kind of a jean skirt sort of situation, or just have some fun home deck. Pretty stiff hand on this one. And that is our final fabric for this month's collection. Happy sewing.